What the crypto industry has shown us in the last year and a half is that the next killer decentralized app after cryptocurrencies is DeFi. What is DeFi? DeFi is decentralized finance. So finance has been, and finance and financial services is an industry. It's actually an enterprise industry that has been in existence for a very long time. What are the companies? What are the enterprises that are working in finance? So it can either be banks, it could be investment houses, hedge funds, it could be lending companies, credit companies, companies that give you loans. Exchanges even are part of the financial industry. Places where you trade, places where you buy stocks. So all of these financial services in the world, it's a very big industry. They're all centralized, as you know. And there was a big movement in the last year and a half to try to take this industry and decentralize it. Take every single financial service that we're used to, for example, taking a loan, and implement it in a decentralized way. So many people worked on that, and for a very long time, these products were not very successful. There was not a lot of demand. We didn't see any users actually using them. So we didn't jump on this bandwagon for a very long time. Why? Because Web3 has taught us that you don't jump on a bandwagon for an industry just because of hype. You jump on a bandwagon only when we actually see the numbers, when we see users using these products. And we've been following DeFi for a very long time from the sidelines, just because we wanted to separate the hype from the actual numbers. What I want to show you now is some of the actual numbers, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with them because every crypto publication in the industry has been writing about these numbers for about 6 months, if not more. So let's go over real numbers, and let's not talk about hype at all. And I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you a few websites. So let me share my screen. Boom. Okay. And the first website I want to show you is a cool website called DeFi Pulse. I'm certain that all of you are familiar with it, and if you're not, you should be. And the cool thing about DeFi Pulse is that this website doesn't measure hype. It doesn't measure market cap. If you look at many projects, for example, and you measure them in CoinMarketCap or in CoinGecko, and you look at market cap and price, what you see is hype. Why? Because even in Web3, even where there were no users, the prices were still good. Some of these tokens were traded for very high prices and had very high market capitalizations, even though nobody used them. So looking at price and market cap is not a very good indication of the real demand and actual use of an industry. That's why when I'm going to show you DeFi, I'm not going to talk at all about market cap. Market cap is meaningless. The only numbers that we're going to look at is actual use. And one of the cool things about DeFi is that it's actually very easy to measure market use, to measure how many people use DeFi. And why is that? It's easy to measure because the engagement with these products, the number of users that you have is irrelevant. And what is relevant is the volume and the amount of money that they put into these financial services. For example, if we talk about a product that provides loans, we can actually measure how many loans have been taken on this product. So this measure does not measure market cap. It does not measure valuations. It measures actual use by real users, and we can actually prove this usage. Think about a different product, like an instant messenger. With an instant messenger, if you want to prove how many people use WhatsApp, for example, or Telegram, you could go and look at how many messages are sent and how many active users you have per month. And usually these numbers are very hard to prove. You would have to trust Telegram and WhatsApp to provide you with the real market numbers. The cool thing about DeFi is that we can measure these numbers ourselves. We can look at the contracts, we can see how much money is inside, we can see how many loans were taken, and we can measure. So the graph that you see here in front of you in DeFi Pulse, and I'm showing you with you see the graph in the last year of the total value locked. What is total value locked? Total value locked is not market capitalization. It is not valuation. This metric, what it shows, this KPI, is how many users are actually using the service. So all the tokens here could be completely worthless, but still the total value locked would be very high. I want to reiterate that just so you understand the difference. For example, you have Uniswap, which is a product, and you have Uni token, the Uniswap token. And the Uniswap token has a market value, capitalization. On the other hand, you have a different number, and that is how much Ether and how much Bitcoin and how much any other token are locked inside the Uniswap exchange. So this has nothing to do with the market capitalization of the Uni token. So it's very important to differentiate between the two. And the graph we see here is not the Uni token price or all the other token prices. It's the actual amount of money that is used by the protocol by users. So this is a very good graph. We have verified this data also by ourselves. You can verify it by looking at the contracts. And you see the leaderboard. And this leaderboard is a very good indication into what products has the general public deemed interesting in terms of decentralized finance. So let's go over them. I'll do a short overview of the products. They're here. They're sorted by the metric that I liked, which is TVL, total value locked. And they show you how much engagement we have with each one. So number one is DAI. DAI is a stablecoin. Stablecoin is a financial instrument that allows you to put your money not on something volatile like Bitcoin or Ether, but to store your money on something that is stable. So it's a useful financial instrument used for hedging. The next one is Aave and Compound. Both of them you can see very successful, the next in line, and they're in lending. What is lending? Lending is a financial product that basically lets you take a loan using a collateral of some way and get a loan in a different token without actually owning that other token. This is a very good tool because let's say that your portfolio is Ether only, you're only long on Ether, and for some reason you believe in something, you need another token for something. Let's say that you want Chainlink token in order to do something, but you don't want to buy the Chainlink token. Why? Because you don't want to be exposed to the changes in price of Chainlink. So what you could do, you could go to a lending platform and you would just borrow Chainlink and take Ether as the collateral. So basically you keep your portfolio in Ether, but you still hold Chainlink tokens so you can use them for whatever they're used for. So this is another very financial instrument. We see two popular products. The next one is Curve Finance. Curve Finance is a DEX, a decentralized exchange, and it gives a product that allows people to trade one token for another in a decentralized way without an order book, which is a great product. So Curve is focusing on stablecoins. If you want to take USDC and trade it to USDT, you would probably use Curve for that. Next one is Uniswap and SushiSwap. These two are very similar. They're actually forks of one another, and they're also decentralized exchanges, but they mostly focus around pairs compared to Ether. So basically, you could take any token that you want and trade it to Ether and back. Because you have all the tokens traded with Ether, you could actually make a trade between any two tokens listed there. So you could trade, but you will go through Ether in the middle. So this is another very cool product. Why? Because people need exchanges. Synthetics is a synthetic asset platform. I don't want to go through the entire list because it's going to take a very long time, but I've highlighted some of these products, and I'm very hopeful that you're already familiar with them. Okay, so I want to show you, let's take one of the products that everybody has used, Uniswap, and I want to show you some of the numbers in Uniswap's website. So I'm going to move to this tab. This is Uniswap Analytics, info@uniswap.org, the public information that is indexed from their contracts on Ethereum. So that data is real, and you can verify it if you want to with the contracts by yourself. It is possible. So you don't need to trust anyone with this data. And it can show you basically the demand and engagement of the public with this product. So first of all, in terms of liquidity, how much money are people putting in this exchange? And the amount of liquidity is $4.2 billion. And this figure is insane. Okay, it's insane. Many people use Uniswap. There is no argument about it that this product is popular and people actually use it. Let's look at the volume in the last 24 hours. Okay, $1 billion volume. Many of you are aware of the statistics that in some dates in the last year, Uniswap had more volume than the largest centralized exchange in the world, in the US market, for example. So we've seen that. So these are insane statistics. So there is no argument, there is hard proof that people are actually using these products in very, very, very large numbers. So these products have been successful. And the next question is, are these products being used? Okay, there's no argument that they are, but are they being used because they are decentralized? So this was, I think, the main question that was interesting to me. Are people using Uniswap because they can make money off of it, because of the hype, or are they actually using it because it's decentralized? And I have an answer, and I spent a lot of time analyzing this very question because I didn't want to make the same mistake that the industry made before with Web3. Web3, we all worked on Web3 without anyone using it for the right reasons. So before we looked at DeFi seriously, we wanted to see that it's not just hype. So I'm going to take you through the thought process that I personally had with Uniswap. So the days that we looked at Uniswap was several months ago, before Uniswap had UniToken. As you know, UniToken was released around December, I think, and the Uniswap platform has been in existence for more than a year, I think. So the platform existed with many people using it. Okay, if the UniToken, let's say it was released somewhere here in December, I think, the platform, okay, yeah, I think this is the platform before Sushi. I expect that this is when SushiSwap was launched. There was a big drop of usage because many people moved to SushiSwap to earn Sushi tokens. And here, I expect that people, that they launched the Uni token and liquidity jumped back up because people went back to Uniswap. I didn't check the dates. I'm not sure that they're even correct, but this is what I see from this graph just by expectation. But this area is very interesting in this graph because we see this area is before Uni token was released. There was actually zero financial incentive to use Uniswap platform. You would not earn anything, you would not get any rewards. So why the hell so many people used it if they didn't get any rewards from it? So there was no financial incentive to use it. So it probably means that the product was good. So let's compare this product to a different exchange that you're all familiar with, Binance. So I'm pretty sure that you've all used Binance or different any other exchange. And let's say that you had, so let's look at the popular pairs in Uniswap just to see what people are using Uniswap for. And you see that the number one usage in terms of liquidity for Uniswap is to trade Ether and Bitcoin. Okay, another big one is to trade Ether and dollars. So these are the big pairs. So let me ask you, can you trade Bitcoin and Ether? Can you trade Ether and dollars on Binance? Yes. The answer is, of course, yes. These are base assets. These are the most popular tokens they are. So people are not coming to Uniswap for the weird, obscure tokens that are not listed in Binance. People use Uniswap to trade Bitcoin. Okay, so let's compare what is it like to trade Ether for dollars or Bitcoin for Ether in Uniswap compared to Binance. Is Binance faster? And the answer is yes, much faster. If you try to do a trade on Uniswap, you know that it takes you a long time, especially if the gas is high. And if you do a transaction on Binance, you see that it's immediate. Okay, so Uniswap is not faster. What about cheaper? What about the fees? Are Binance maybe greedy? Do they take a lot of fees? So the answer is no. Fees on Binance are actually very cheap. I think the highest fees on Binance per trade is 0.2% of the trade. And actually, if you're a volume user, you get even better fees. What are the fees on Uniswap? So the fees on Uniswap are 0.3%. So it's almost 1.5 times as much. So it's much, 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 much more expensive. So are people using Uniswap because it's cheaper than Binance? And the answer is no. What about liquidity? Does Binance have more liquidity than Uniswap? And I think the answer is yes. So people are not using Uniswap for the liquidity. So why the hell are they using it if it's inferior to Binance on every level? Maybe it existed before Binance, and no, of course not. Binance exists for many, many, many years before Uniswap. So it's not because it was there first. So Binance is a superior product on every front except one: decentralization. The only thing you don't know about Binance is whether Binance are telling the truth. You can't audit Binance. You can't know that the order book is as they claim it is. You can't know if the volumes are indeed correct. You can't know if the liquidity that they report is indeed true. Basically, Binance is a very opaque service. You have to trust Binance to supply you with real data that you can't really verify. And for some strange reason, many people are willing, in order to get transparency and auditability, pay twice as much, wait 10 times as much, and use products that are much more dangerous. So people are using Uniswap because it's decentralized. And this is eye-opening. This is a journey that I personally went through, I would say 6 months ago, when it dropped the idea that these products, the only reason that they're used is because they're decentralized. Now let's remember the beginning of our conversation. What is Orbs doing? What is the blockchain industry doing? We are trying to find industries and products that are ready for decentralization, for the mass market, where people actually use these products because they are decentralized. What have I shown you here? A product that is inferior to the centralized product in any way. People use it in huge numbers that we can verify, and the only reason that they use it is it's because it's decentralized. Now, if our mission is to work with the world in order to harness public blockchain technology, in order to decentralize more products that are in actual mainstream use, we could not ignore DeFi any longer, because we had immense proof that DeFi is not hype like Web3. DeFi is actually honestly and really used by the public. So it was a very natural industry for Orbs to look at. There are also many enterprises doing financial services that are interested in doing DeFi. And I want to show you an example of some, just because you're probably not familiar with them. So there are many enterprise players in the DeFi space. One of these very interesting parties is hedge funds. What is a hedge fund? So a hedge fund is an enterprise. Many hedge funds are even publicly traded on NASDAQ. Some of them are private companies. And they offer a service that people can put money in them, and they invest that money for you and give you returns. So this is a company, an enterprise company, type of companies that exist in very large numbers in the financial sector. And many of these hedge funds are looking at DeFi. Why? Because for them, DeFi is an excellent avenue for investment. So let's say that you have dollars in your bank account and you want to get returns for them. So basically, you could go to your bank and you could give your bank your dollars, and your bank would give you some sort of interest rate for investing your dollars for you. And you would get, I don't want to say 0.5%, maybe if you're lucky, 1% if you're very lucky, because the interest rates are very low, and people don't pay you a lot for holding dollars these days in the fiat world, in the real world. So even when hedge funds want to start making returns to their clients that are more than 10%, 20%, they have to invest in very risky areas. They have to invest in stocks. They have to invest in the Tesla stock. The Tesla stock is very volatile. It can go up, it can go down. They have to invest in different things. So if you want high returns in the traditional space, you need to have a lot of risk. But then these hedge funds, they look at the DeFi space, the decentralized space, and then you ask yourself, what is the return that DeFi provides for holding US dollars? And you could look at many places. Let me open a place for you. I'm going to open Harvest Finance. Whoops. Harvest Finance is also a very nice DeFi product that is called a Vault. This is kind of like a decentralized hedge fund, I would say, or an investment company. So if we look at this product, we're going to look at stablecoins. And in the stablecoins, you could see that you could invest USDC and you would get a return of 27%. This is very interesting. Why? Because if you do that, the same action in the traditional space, you would get 0.5%. So here is something very, very interesting for these hedge funds that they want to look at and that they want to engage with that. And engaging with this space for them is very difficult. So the point here was that the actors in DeFi are also enterprises. This is something that you don't see around you because you mostly hear about the crypto whales. But a lot of the enterprise sector is looking into these areas and looking how to work with them. And it's very difficult to do because they're not used to working with the crazy wallets and the crazy technologies that the crypto whales are using. If you want to work with a hedge fund, you need to provide them with a completely different system that they know how to analyze, report, be regulated for, and so forth. So we see a lot of opportunity in this space where we can jump in. So I think I'm going to stop here. The idea of this talk of this very long monologue was to show you that DeFi is interesting, why it's interesting as a product, and why Orbs is looking at it. I did not talk at all at what Orbs is doing in DeFi. I think we'll save it to one of the next talks. I just wanted to focus on why is it interesting and relevant in our search for a decentralized product that the public is actually using and not just hyped about. So that's why we're looking at it. And I'll do another talk. This one was already too long in the next time. Thank you, guys.